from Hollywood, California, Anthony DeVona presents the exciting new fashions of the internationally famous Fredericks of Hollywood. Hi, I'm Carolyn Lacey, and here is your host, Mr. Frederick, the president of Fredericks of Hollywood.
Thank you. Nice to be with you, Carolyn, and I hope you like some of the fashions we bring out.
I always like your fashions, and I'm a fan from way back.
Really?
I understand that you've expanded from your catalogs into retail stores of your own.
Right. We have 118 of those from coast to coast and north to south.
Well, I know you've been in the business for a long time. How do you know what fabric is going to come up, say, next year? There's an old story in New York. I know about a man who was in partnership with another man for a number of years, and they were going bankrupt, and the man decided to commit suicide for the insurance policy. So as he jumped from the 40th floor, he was going down, and he screamed back at his partner, "Ever faithful cut velvet."
Yeah. Yes.
That's the famous
that is
story.
So true. Yes, it's so true. And really, there's a lot of that kind of chicanery going on in the ready-to-wear market because everybody is copying from everybody. People carry tails. They sometimes, for example, will carry a part of a pattern from one place to another.
Yes.
So it's really a dog-eat-dog type of a business in the manufacturing area.
Well, that's interesting. Do you find that many of your competitors, or would-be competitors, there is only one Frederick, are able to take some of your designs and use them for their own purposes? Do you find much thievery among your competitors?
Not ours per se, because really we are a specialty type of house. In other words, we don't cater to the total public. They cater to all public, whether it be a basement operation or whether it be a haute couture, either way. But we try to stay within a field that is what we feel is proper.
All right, you've whetted my appetite.
Okay.
I'd like to see what we have.
Well, I think we have a few things that might interest you. For example, this is Laurie in our... No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I'm wrong. What number was that?
91.
91. Terry in our aqua. This is a crocheted bathing suit, by the way. And again, as you see, it does fit the body very well. This was not made specifically for Laurie, but it would fit any of the models we have here.
Now, is this a hand-crocheted suit?
That is a hand-crocheted suit. That is correct.
As you say,
I think it only comes in the one color, if my recollection is right. Thank you. You do notice the air conditioning as well, don't you?
Yes,
Okay.
there is air conditioning. Vent work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this a stretchable fabric? I mean, because of the construction of the suit, the knits.
It is a knit, and knits automatically do stretch.
Yes,
unless they've been preformed and set into shape, which then they lose all elasticity.
I see.
All stretch doesn't last. There's Mr. Frederick's signature on the back, which I guess is a crucial spot. Done in gold, of course, because we feel that is our color. There are gold stitching down the side of those pants as well that continue the look of what I'm talking about as far as the Mr. Frederick pant. These have been highly successful, by the way.
Well, it's like the little nothing necklaces that were so popular a time back. You're not quite sure it's there, but it is enough to catch your eye.
That's correct. And again, because of the layered look on top, it's very, very helpful to complementing a woman's torso.
Yes.
You notice that it stays in place despite all the movement she makes there. You can wear it at disco, you can wear it anywhere at all.
And the lady is moving.
Yes, she is. Now, here's our purple passion garment. Again, we have yards and yards of feathers, marabou feathers. We have the cut up in the front, again, to have it teasingly interesting. The feathers in the V in the front end at exactly the right spot. There's a slit, but yet she's completely covered and completely decent. We just lost one of her feathers, but we won't talk about that one. And of course, there is a diamond-like type of a spaghetti strap that holds up the entire garment. And here's Shannon, again with the make-believe mask, but the thing that is not make-believe is the secret circle bra that we have. It's a patented process that we use, once again, to give the cleavage, to project her breasts. If you turn sideways to the camera so they can get an idea what I mean by projection. You get a side view of the breasts that look absolutely great. You also have a cleavage just developed down here, and it's, I think, a very flattering garment for most women.
Was that bra developed for studio use originally? I
Originally
know so
it
many
was.
of them use
That's
them.
correct.
Uh-huh.
It did start with that use. They had a necessity for having something that would show cleavage
Yes.
and yet be able to project
It's a
properly.
beautiful looking bra. I mean,
And the pointed look, or semi-pointed look that we have in that has been with us for many years. And that's a fluted type of lace on top, which gives you kind
what
of
is it you call it? Loving cups. That's
Loving
what your
cup,
catalog
that's the
advertising.
name.
Loving
That
cups.
is
You
correct.
bet.
Now, Terry has on a rainbow bathing suit. Rainbow again, once again, if you notice, it cuts around so that it does minimize the waist or accent the waist, and whatever the case might be. She can wear it strapless, or she can wear it strapped the way she has. Again, she's very totally covered, and yet she's very dramatically dressed. Thank you.
I love the shearing that comes across the body.
Well, the shearing takes place again for the reason of joining the two fabrics.
Oh,
And
I
secondly, giving it a dimension. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that.
It's got dimension.
I think it'll get some pretty good dimensions.
Right.
Okay. Well, this is a fun item of ours. We call it Hot Stuff Apron and Bikini. Now, this is not meant for everyone. It's good for discos. It's good for at-home entertaining. It's good for just having lots of fun. It is done in black, again, black satin in this case. And as she's showing you how proud she is of the way the top is done. Oh, she's also covering it, I'm sorry. She has a interesting apron type of a top on it. This is done in black satin, as I mentioned. It glows, it glistens, it moves with her, and you have the gold accent again.
And it says hot stuff.
And Melanie in our underwired black stretch jumpsuit. There's very little I can say about it except to say it looks dynamic on her and looks equally dynamic on most people. Not quite as good. But
I don't think you have to say a word.
you do notice that it has stirrups at the bottom to keep the pants in place. You might point to that, Melanie, if you will. Those are stirrups, for example, the same kind you use when you ride a horse, so they do keep the pants in place.
It also makes the pants adhere to the calf or leg, which is not bad either.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And this is underwire bra as well.
Now, is this a stretchable fabric?
Yes, this is a light brush stretchable fabric. Has a shine, it's perfect, it doesn't crease easily, and it's easy to take care of.
And it's very sexy.
Right. Thank you. Oh, red basque.
Slinky.
This is what, again, a red basque we call this. This is underwired. The fabric is made for us in Switzerland. It has a, actually, it minimizes the waist. Again, it is hooked in the back, closing in the back. The garters can be taken on or off, can be worn with or without stockings. We have a matching bikini that goes with it, of course, and again, it's in the same lace, and again, the same sort of back. You notice the garters are in both front and back on the bikini.
That is dynamite.
This, we call that electric blue. It's a teddy, once again, a one-piece undergarment. It has gold stockings that go with it, that's correct. You'll notice they have a seam back as well. The black lace edges it and frames it. The underwiring, again, keeps it well supported. And the lace, as you notice, cuts up high at the sides, which comes right to the top of the bone, top of the hip bone. Oh, it's
111.
electric
Blue tricot and lace
Right.
wrap.
That's correct. This is a robe. It's a wrap robe being worn by Sharon. It is in our catalog. The yards and yards of lace again. This is it's a shearer, lingerie type of fabric. The color, of course, is very, very attractive. The lace edging is expensive looking and is actually expensive, but the price is not. Thank you. Okay,
Is that also launderable? Can you
Oh, yes,
take? It's
yes.
easy care.
the lace is
Beautiful.
wonderful as well as the other.
It reminds me somehow of San Francisco. I don't know why. Perhaps because that's what I imagine San Francisco should look like if I were there.
Donna is in our lace bodice nightgown. Again, we put some very intricate detail. You might turn around long enough for them to be able to get the feeling of it. Just turn your back to the audience.
And I
that's
might
right.
add, that's a surprise.
Right. It's a spider web type of effect, which actually holds it up by just little V's that are created by the binding. It keeps you completely in the bust. Your bust is completely enclosed. You don't have to worry about exposing too much of it to go off. The centerpiece, by the way, does have Swiss lace in it, and very sheer, lovely, re-embroidered Swiss lace. Oh yes, Shannon, how could I miss that? Dusty rose. The color is again a very, very warm, lovely, luxurious color. It's a dusty rose, in both top and bottom. Again, very slinky fabrics used. The purposes of not breaking up any body lines. The bra is underwired. It has a slant cup, which in fact helps to urge the breast together and yet give it adequate support. In other words, there's not a line that goes directly across the center of the bust. It rather comes up on a diagonal.
And again, the very high-cut bikini, which is so flattering.
That's correct, yeah, because it again nestles on exactly the right part of the body. Deep in the back, a two-tone contrast against the black sets off the entire garment. It does again re-emphasize makes your waist look smaller. She is adequately covered, doesn't have to worry about exposing herself on the beach. And of course, the fabric itself has a wonderful hand to it.
That is, I think, the most subtly suggested suit in the collection.
Thank you. We've tried to do a variety of them, so there's enough to select from.
Maybe it's Laurie.
Could be, because Laurie could have opened it up because there's nothing beneath it except possibly another garment. But it is a great dress to get in and out of in a hurry. It's made somewhat like a robe would be made at home. It's easy to get on, easy to get off.
And it's one of those dresses that will go anywhere.
It will go anywhere and be in fashion forever.
Yes.
Really. Thank you, Archie. Thank you.
I don't know what it is with you and the flowers.
I don't know either. I'm
hurt.
I'm not a flower baby, so I'm not sure. It's statuesque, it's shocking pink, it's yards and yards of feathers.
And it's sensational.
It is a color that is very shocking in itself, very attractive. It has, turn around for just a minute, please. Thanks, thank you. It has, again, the lampshade showing down the center, which, again, does a wonderful job for the body as well as drawing attention to the right areas. It comes up high and it's completely covered. We even have a diamond-like type of a decoration on, a pin on it.
You might call that opening night.
I think it would be a wonderful idea. In fact, I might have changed that name right now to opening night. Again, this is a lovely, slinky fabric, which, by the way, is easy care regardless of the fact that it is as beautiful as it is. You notice the rhinestone straps, which sparkle every time the light hits it. You'll also notice how full that bottom is. Take a look at this now. You do a fast turn for me. All right, now pull it out as flat. That's it. Again, it's very easy to get in and out of it, and if you notice, we also have those diamond-like buttons on top to further decorate.
In other words, it calls attention to where the attention should be called.
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting that is what we would call a loosely wrapped dress.
It is a loosely wrapped dress, but again, you move in it because the fabric itself is slinky, because of the slit on the side. Woman could take a deeper stride.
Oh boy, nobody would look at anyone else.
Well, we feel that togetherness could go to the beach as well. And so we try to keep the couples together in this manner. Once again, you have a swimsuit that looks very good. We have several other colors in it as well. And of course, his swimsuit. Tom endows almost any swimsuit he wears, and also you can hardly get the models away from the guy. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here that I can mention?
I like the red, the combination red. You know, people are afraid of red sometimes, and it's really a very vibrant up color.
It certainly is, particularly if your skin is too dark, it may not look that good on you. But red on this is right. Now again, this purple passion of ours over here has a brassiere type of construction under it. There is an underwired bra there, which again keeps a woman in place while she's lounging or whatever.
I see, and you are in favor of these underwire bras, despite women's liberation, right?
Despite it, because of the fact that I think the American women are built certainly a hell of a lot differently than the French women are. Our girls have breasts, as the British girls do. Wow.
This is almost, it's Victorian, but it's got a
Let's
look
see,
of the
where the
20s
devil-
around that beautiful cape, magnificent looking thing. I've seen pictures, I'm really, you know.
Well, of course. I knew you weren't around then. You're right.
You're right, I
Once
wasn't.
again, this is underwire. It has rough and dirty, I would guess, about 2,500 sequins on it or more. We have, I believe it is 7 yards of marabou trim. It is elegant enough to be worn for evening wear or for bedroom wear.
You mean that's a nightgown?
It is supposedly a nightgown, but again, the woman does want to look fetching, does want to look particularly attractive.
If my mouth hung open, then it was.
And she does mean a bunny. And you don't have to join the bunny club for that. I call it as a fun for all, really, because it is fun. It's a fun garment. It's not meant to be taken seriously.
Well, it's fun fur also, so the
That's correct.
conservationists need to
That's
worry about it, right?
Oh, yes, I would.
Animal lovers, I'm one.
Okay, fine. We wouldn't think about harming the animals. Certainly not the rabbits.
Is the tail removable?
You mean hers or the...
No.
Okay.
No.
It was removable. I don't know whether this one is or not.
I see.
But I think she really, there's one of the airlines that says we shake our tail for you, and she can prove it.
I was just asking. I mean, it's, easier to launder.
Does it
What an
say-
Easter present that would make.
Mm-hmm. A real Easter bunny to some man, huh? What number am I on now? Let me just see. Remember?
This is
I'm-
absolutely
That's
good enough
Suzanne,
to eat
isn't it?
with a spoon.
Suzanne,
Feathers and
that's
all.
certainly-
Beautiful. What kind of
Our
feathers are
feathered-
those?
That again is the same. That is marabou feathers. Those that marabou, and we do have some ostrich as well. That's why I kind of stuttered there for a moment.
I always
We
wondered
call
what
that
I
our
was wearing.
fine feathered fantasy.
Beautiful.
It's in hot pink, which is of course very emotion evoking because the color itself does that.
Indeed.
And of course the marabou speaks for itself. In fact, it speaks with every movement of the air conditioning or every movement of the body.
Well,
So-
I have to tell you that I admire sexy clothes, you know. I think most
I'm
women
so-
do, really,
Right.
and men too. And I don't think there's anything sexier than feathers or
Well,
softness
feathers
around.
are feminine.
Yes,
They're feminine.
absolutely.
They make you think of the peacock, which is again a very definite way of displaying themselves. The birds do it, and people certainly should be able to do it.
Yeah.
This is Terry in our leopard bathing suit. It's again made of lycra. You'll notice that the sides are black. The purpose of that being again to smooth out the body and give you a definite body line that is attractive. The cut is high enough so it does not cut into the fleshy part of the upper leg, which in turn would create a kind of a bubble.
In other words, you don't really have to have a beautiful body like Terry's.
Not if we-
It helps, but
We take
if it's
care
a little
of it.
edgy, you can take care of it, right?
As a matter of fact, she can also take those ties in the front and make a halter out of that.
Really?
Try that, if you will, please.
May we see that,
Just
Terry?
untie yourself, tie it in the back as you would a halter.
Aha. Now, if you
Now,
haven't
once
been
again, you
wearing
have
bras,
you
that
have a double
helps.
look suit. And again, take a
Beautiful.
look. Leave it there for that. Fine. That's great.
I think a
Thank
woman
you.
of any age would appreciate that one.
Now let's see.
Oh, my,
This
from the
is,
sunny climes to the cold
yes,
ones.
Let me just see. What is this one here?
I don't think you have to be awfully cold to wear that. You just want to look sensational, that's all. Oh,
It's
there's
fake
the secret.
Fake fur, but again, my fine feathered friend here, that's handled just as though you're handling a very fine coat. You notice the way the separation between where normally you sew the fur together, ours
Yes.
is done to give you the same effect.
You could have fooled me. What is the fabric?
It's actually a synthetic fiber,
I see.
and it's lined, however, again in a synthetic fiber, so you can actually wash it. It's not recommended, but it can be done.
Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's Justine.
Right.
Hi, Justine.
Well, Justine in the scoop neck boucle sparkling burgundy. By boucle, I mean it has a rather short nub in the fabric itself. You do notice, of course, that she has the option to be able to either unbutton all the way up to the top, and that's true on both sides, by the way.
wow. Who'd want a
Or-
button if they look like
Or
that?
button it down as far as you wish, whatever you think will please you best.
And wide belts are back.
Wide belts are very definitely back at Frederick's because we feel,
Beautiful.
again, by defining your waist, you're making the rest of the figure look that
Yes,
much
they were
better.
never really out, were they?
Not with us,
No.
ever. No. That's why we've always had waist cinches for the same reason.
Yeah, they knew that back in the mid-ages, too, that you were talking
That's
about a few
correct.
minutes ago.
We took it from that.
And Scarlett O'Hara, her 20-inch waist.
That's correct.
Mine
had
was never
what's
20.
known as a wasp waist is a term they
Beautiful.
apply to it.
Let's see your eyes, Tom. They are blue. Oh, how beautiful.
Well, that's why we have the blue suit on them.
Absolutely.
Again, it's a swimsuit, a beach suit, a lounging around the pool type of a deal. What number is that, please? What number do you have? Tom?
42.
42, okay. And it's relatively inexpensive, if my recollection serves me right. I think it'll be somewhere around probably $25, and that's in our catalog division only.
The full set?
Yes, I think it is that. It may be closer to 30, but it's somewhere between 25 and 30.
You do still do catalogs then. I had wondered with your expansion of
yes,
stores.
we send out about 5 million catalogs a year, between 5 and 6 million catalogs a year.
I bet America will be glad to hear that.
Once again, we have designs on women for a reason that, again, enhancing. When she walks down the beach in this thing, they must notice her, because their eye will go to the various angles that the print shows. The colors themselves are very dramatic. Not to mention, of course, the body that's sensational.
Do they come in alternate colors, or is this it?
This one comes in just as one color because...
Heck, I was going to order 3. I'll take them anyway.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Remember to give me your size. Give
Beautiful,
me your size,
absolutely.
All right. Here is Shannon. Deep plunge, and again, it's a strapless bra. Now, that can be worn either with the straps or without the straps. You notice one other thing about this, turn around again for a minute, Melody, Shannon rather, is the fact that the underwiring is there. The fact there is a plunge in the front, which allows her to show more skin. In the back of this, we have what we call a crisscross strap, which works in such a manner as to take care of the flesh under the arms and keep it encased within the body of the bra.
I must tell you, I admire that bra for another reason. Sometimes a lady with cleavage doesn't want to be quite so obvious, and it gives a fullness without giving a pinched look.
Well, that's what a pinched look is one that I know no woman likes to have.
No.
Now here, there is also a double D to fill out the cup with pads we sell in the event that there isn't enough.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's right. That's
By
one
the
of
way,
your
this one,
specialties
well, we have one very similar to it, which has a Mr. Frederick signature on the back, which has been going very well, and we're probably going to do the same with this very shortly. This is denim, but again, it's very easy to get in and out of. Thank you.
I think everyone would like to know where that outfit came from, so I think that you should put your signature on it. It's definitely you.
Well, we found that the signature pant is doing very well, so we'll have to really do more of it because there seems to be a demand for it for some reason. And I don't know what that gives me.
It's a status symbol. Oh, sure, you bet.
I guess it does. This swimsuit again, it's done in the black serge, coming or going on the beach or anywhere else. As you notice, the sun shines and hits it, or the moon shines, or whatever. There's a movement to it, besides the built-in movement that she has. Again, we're into the slick, glistening type of a lycra fabric that immediately brings attention to you. I believe that can also be worn halter style, can't it?
That is just beautiful. I take back what I said about red. I think black is still my favorite.
Oh, it's a very strong color. Terry in, let's see, oh yes, it's a daytime dress in blue, again, glistening, silky-like fabric. Again, we have the slits coming up just to the right place. You'll notice our skirt length here is at about the knee, and actually, depending upon the size, it may go even a little bit above the knee.
Well, I think if one slit is better, you know, 2 or more.
Certainly.
However,
it opens, by the way, it does open to the back. And again, that's quite easy to handle. You do notice how nicely it moves as the fabric moves. The fabric moves as it moves.
That front look is just dynamite.
See, if you took a deep step, let's see what that would look like. Just one deep step, with one leg, put one leg forward. That's what I'm talking about.
And again, the 5-inch heels, right?
Again, the 5-inch skyscraper heels, right?
Beautiful.
These shoes, by the way, we call these bird cage because of the bird cage back on them. You want to show, turn around, come back for just a moment. Turn around over there and show them the back of your heel. So we can get the back of the heel. You'll notice that it's built like a bird cage there. And the strap is very flattering too. That comes directly at the ankle. Now here's one that we built specifically for a movie that was done. It is sheer net. In other words, what you see there that is not blue is actually sheer net, skin color. You notice that it's done, this by the way is fairly expensive. I think it goes for about $80.
But it is available at Frederick's,
It is available at Frederick's.
It's not just for movie use, in other words. It was adapted into
we have
your
sold, we have sold
stock.
many of these. Again, show them your arms,
I can see
please.
why.
The arms. All right, now turn your arms sideways so they can see the side. No, pick your hair up. There you go.
Absolutely beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about. And once again, we believe in showing legs in the right way and still being completely decent in wearing them.
I have only one complaint. No pockets.
I guess it's a salmon color. We say a fish swam upstream to be able to do it for us because we want the exact salmon color. Again, this has bones on the side to keep the garment in properly. You notice the straps, these hosiery straps are detachable. We have them on here purposely for the reason of showing what the mesh legs look like. These
Those are the
worn.
fish nets, right?
These are the fish nets
Right.
that do stretch, and they're worn by most theatrical dancers
Yes.
as well. We have a good deal of that trade ourselves in the store in Hollywood. And again, it does whittle the waist, and it does keep the breast where it belongs.
Now that is actually an expandable fabric, is it not, in
Yes,
the
it
waist
is.
there, so
Yes,
that
it
you
is.
aren't
It's a
confined
very
if you don't want to be
fine-
confined?
No, a very fine gauge fabric, and there is an adjustment on the back as well, so you can move the
Oh,
hook
I
over to the next
see.
one.
Oh, very good. In other words, you have support without crowding.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
Again, if you're crowded, you destroy the body, so we don't want that to happen. It's a shirt side again on a white suit, and once again, it's very, very bright, brilliant colors that will make every beach lover happy, I believe, except those women who don't wear it. Again, it does encase the body. It does help the body show off to the best advantage. Of course, with a body like her, she really doesn't have to worry about that, do you?
She has the advantage already.
Oh, of course. Nature helped her right at the very beginning.
Incidentally, just a little side note, I was talking to her earlier, and she was a contestant for Miss Black America.
Everybody loves
You
Tom.
bet.
I mean, all the girls do anyway.
Yes, sir.
Women do. This shirt in the back, by the way, if you'll turn around for just a moment, you see there's a hand-painted design on the back. It's repeated again in the front.
It's a woman, of course.
Of course.
Of
What else
course.
would be on a man's shirt?
Well, his anyway.
Right. And of course, as you also notice, he manages to show off his hairy chest and doesn't show off his biceps.
Other
but he's got 'em.
advantages.
Yes. You know exactly what you were talking about, right? This too is in that washable fabric, by the way, but we advise not to because we think it'll look better for a longer period of time if you take good care of it.
Now, I want to ask something.
Sure.
You have mentioned women's waist being minimized, and I know just a number of people who diet and starve and jog and do all these neat things, which I approve of. But this also helps to minimize the man's waist, does it not? With the
Definitely.
stripes coming
Very
down
definitely, very
vertically and then
definitely
the exposed out of the
That's
side,
correct.
right?
That's correct. Plus the fact that it is form-fitting and it does take a minute at the waist. So again, that takes in any bulge you might
Yes,
have.
indeed.
And
Oh, that's
Melanie,
mine. That is
we
it?
call this a lampshade dress. It's been with us for about 20 years in various versions. What it does do, it has a shirring down the back and the front, right in the center. What that does is it disperses the fabric itself so that it creates the lampshade look. You do notice that it cups directly under her cheeks in the back, so that every motion again is an invitation to look. The long, very luxurious skirt that comes down from the shirt area is extremely, you do a real full turn on that, a real fast full turn. This will give you an idea of what it would look like on a dance floor as well. But I didn't know it had movement in it yet.
Something
Okay.
flamenco dancers knew a long time ago.
Absolutely.
And again,
And it's
Mr. Frederick saw it and did it
Thank you very much.
for Americans. Discoing or,
Or just plain having fun at
fooling
home.
around.
Actually, it might even look like, it looks almost like the plastic type of tablecloths, but they're not. It is a nylon, let me just see, Gina, that's right. It's a nylon that looks very, very glistening, shining, sparkling. It's got a built-in movement that Jeannie herself has given it.
Donna Blue.
Once
right?
again.
Beautiful.
Madonna blue is right, it's the right word, right term we use as well. It again is in this very fine, silky type fabric. It zips down the back. The waistband, belt rather, again, takes care of many problems as well as balancing the figure.
No problem.
Not on Melanie.
You know, I always thought that shade of blue was a blonde's color until I tried it on. And
It works
liked it
beautifully.
too. And
Oh, yeah.
brunettes are absolutely stunning in it.
The blues are, the purples are very good now,
Yes.
extremely good. The grays, I think, is something you wouldn't wear with that. I mean, and blonde shouldn't wear grays.
No, no.
This is on Shannon. We call these a teddy, which is the old term for a one-piece type of garment of this sort. It does have very fine lace, as you notice down the front. It kind of V's in, once again attracting attention. In addition to which, this lace is what's known as a flat lace, meaning that it does not have any surface to it. So once again, it is not seen under any other slinky garment that you might have.
Okay.
The shoulder straps are not adjustable, but they can be made that way if you so choose. Fabric, of course, is our black, shiny, lycra type of fabric. Thank you.
And one thing that gives it that fit, I notice it does have elastic in the legs there, which shears
Yes.
up.
You're absolutely right.
As well, you know, years ago, Gina Lola Bridget made a picture called Trapeze that popularized that French cut, and it has never gone away.
Now again, we call this a lattice suit because of the fact that you have the openings at the side. You also call it a ladder type of an opening on the side.
I see.
It's just titillating enough, it's just teasing enough by showing that much flesh.
And it's strapless.
And it's strapless,
Love it.
of course, and it does stay in place again because of the way this is built. Now, of course, our boyfriend over here, Lister, I don't know which came first, whether his suit came first or hers. I think it was hers. Then the women said, well, what about a suit for my guy? As a consequence of which, this is what happened.
Well, Adam and Eve had it differently.
Right.
But I'd say that they come very close,
Very definitely.
right?
In addition,
Adam and Eve, I mean.
Adam and Eve, yes.
Beautiful.
Here we go with Melanie. In a gold mesh, open work type of a dressing gown with yards and yards of marabou, and the jumpsuit that she has on beneath it has an underwired bust, just as you would in a very well-supported bra.
Wow,
As
I've
you-
seen showstoppers, but that's an opener.
All right, here's Justine in our red streamer dress. It is short, and yet by the same token, it reveals the legs when she makes a turn or when the wind comes up. Also, as you do notice, once again, she is well supported by the garment itself because of the width of the band below her breast. Also, it gives her a chance to show her cleavage, of which she's very proud.
Oh, wow,
And-
something for
yes.
me. I knew it would be
Something
here.
for the guy, something for the women and the guys. This came about because of the women started asking, what about helping us to dress up the guys? And we started doing his and her swimsuits, then his and her jumpsuits. Then we came along with his and her very dressy, his very dressy shirt, as well as dressy pair of pants. The pants, as you notice, once again, are in the fit, are very tight fitting. They're, however, in a stretchy fabric. They also glisten, so any light that hits it shows off the best points, right?
Let's hear it
Thank
for
you.
the best points.
Shannon is coming. Is on in what we call our tattoo teddy. That is sheer fabric in a flesh color that you see. That in turn supports the rest of the garment, which has a sweetheart back. If you notice, it's a sweetheart seat, really.
It's a heart seat.
Right. And once again, you notice how the lace itself covers the essential points. And here is a twosome, one of our his and hers swimsuit sets. Once again, we think that togetherness is possible on the beach, just as it is at home, just as it is anywhere else. So we cater to the twosomes.
Did you ever think of calling that one Barbie and Ken?
Money green velvet baby doll. It's very plush, very velvety. It has a wonderful hang to it. And once again, we take the feathers to embellish what we have there.
It's easy on the eyes and nice to touch, I'll bet.
You have no idea. The men love to stroke this, as a woman herself likes to stroke it as well. And here's our wedding dress, which has been with us for a long time and is continually successful. Once again, what we've done there is shown a very elegant type of a dress with cutouts. Now, the sheer that you see in the front is actually a sheer body-colored, flesh-colored net The applique that you see, again, simply is something to decorate the woman entirely.
You mean that isn't her?
Oh, yes, it is. Right below. Oh, right below that. That is her.
Oh, okay.
All of the non-white area is Shannon.
Beautiful.
Okay. Now, here is Sharon, and this is a one-piece swimsuit. Once again, with very colorful flowers. Again, as you notice, it slims the waist. It is easy to get on and off. It can be worn with or without the straps, and it has the lace-up sides as well, which make it easy for the gal.
Would you repeat the part about slimming the waist?
Well, turn around for a moment, and I'll show you what I mean. For example, in the back, as well as in the front, you notice we have black in the area where the waist problem might be. In the back, we do the same thing in case a woman has a rear buttock problem.
I see, and it's broken there, right?
That's
the
correct.
line.
Let me see, where is this?
All I can say is wow.
Oh, this is the coin. Yeah, well, these are gold coin. It's gold coin dots on a G-string type of an outfit. This has been used by belly dancers, but it's also used by people who want to do belly dance and look particularly feminine despite their age.
And I'll bet it's money in the bank.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Is that a big seller? Do a lot of women buy that?
Well, again, we do business with the studios. We furnish them with clothes.
See. Then it definitely is dramatic. Yes.
Let's see. This is Suzanne. Is that correct? Yes. She has on what we call a profile bra, and if you turn sideways towards the camera, you'll notice that the bra projects. It projects from the side, it projects from the front as well. That is, again, a structured type of a brassiere for that purpose. You could wear it halter as well because its straps detach in the back. Thank you very much.
How does...
By the way, you might notice these shoes. These two are ours. They're 5-inch heels. They have the very titillating type of a strap at the ankle, which again makes eyes turn to where you want them to turn.
You originated the 5-inch heel, didn't you?
Oh, it goes back about almost 25 years. We were the first in the business.
You're ahead of your time.
Oh, we've got the male. These are mesh pants and shirt in matching colors, of course. That's cool for the summer, and it's really cool to wear. Same thing happens with Tom. Tom has got a very cool-looking outfit on, yet it's a very dramatic black on his particular figure.
And
of course,
sexy.
Well, I'm glad you said it. I wouldn't dare say it because it wouldn't sound good to me.
I would.
Now here we have Joy, and that's her name, really. We didn't call the garment Joy. But
Why
again,
not?
Well, I should have really. It's a very dramatic, again, evening type of dress or at-home entertaining. The sparkles and the beads that come down move with her. You want to do one fast turn, please? There we go. You see what I'm talking about on the gold beads. The silver beads, I'm sorry. Thank you. Hot orange suit, which can be worn again wherever you feel it's right. It's form-fitting. It adjusts to your figure. It flatters it, and it gives you wonderful lines.
I was going to say, I wondered if you had neglected the pants part of your collection.
Oh, no, because the pants are made specifically to show the woman's leg off properly.
And perhaps a little higher.
Definitely, because once again, we have undergarments that will lift the cheeks, separate the cheeks. We have them that will pad the back, pads for the back of the garment, pads at the hips as well, for the reason that the garment is made originally on a form that is perfect. Lori, again, is wearing an underwired cup, I should say. It's not totally a bra.
In these days of liberation, how do you feel about these underwired bras? Is any problem?
No problem. Women certainly don't feel that way about it, even though they're liberated, because once again, the women, I might say this, when the braless craze came in, it was the best thing that ever happened to us, because I hated what they were doing to women, because women, over a period of time, gravity just automatically pulled the breast down to where some of them almost had it around the waistline.
Well, yes, there are no muscles in the breast.
No, and therefore, unsupported is both unhealthy as well as very unattractive.
Bravo.
And if you want to keep your shape, and as many years as you can, go into the 60s or 70s with them, you'll have it.
Of course, there is a time when you wouldn't want to wear a bra, but I can't think of it right now. That is just exquisite. Look at the purple color with her hair.
Thank you.
Or my hair.
And once again, you notice how we do distribute the solid color versus the print. for the purpose, again, of helping a woman look absolutely perfect on the beach.
In other words, it accentuates the better features or the positive, as
it
Johnny
accents
Mercer
the
said.
positive and
Eliminates it.
eliminates the
You
negative.
bet.
That's the word. All right, we got
Looks good to me.
Oh
Got
my
to be our
God!
dancer
yes.
friend again.
This is Shannon, our
yes.
dancer, one of our regular models as well, I might say. It's a red Lurex garter belt. Now, this is a garter belt that has a panty beneath that attaches. Of course, you have to wear stockings with this. The long lace gloves, again, we feel accentuates the garment. The sparkle in the cloth does the same thing. Thank you very much, Shannon.
Now, there's a big comeback in garter belts, isn't there?
Well, they're very Frenchy, very sexy.
Very dramatic.
Once again, you see how that flatters her. You see what's happening on the exposed area in the front as well as in the back,
Beautiful.
which has a very gorgeous re-embroidered lace that we brought in from Austria, from Switzerland. And the fabric itself, again, is easy care. It can be washed as you would any other easy care garment. The fabric is very slinky, very sensuous. Thank
If
you.
it travels as well as she does, it's going to do all right.
Well, fine, I'm sure it will. Thank you. I hope it will. We've had that, by the way, for quite a while. It's been very successful.
I'm going to say, your
It's been
jumpsuits were also ahead of the time.
Oh, yes. And we've never
Always.
left, and we've never stayed. We still have a very complete selection of jumpsuits as well. China doll on Jeannie, and the doll she is. She's she's another dancer and one of our regular models. That's a mandarin neck you see there with the frogs, little embroidered things that button on and off. There's a long zipper in the back making it easy to get in and out. And if you, one moment, just open up one of the buttons at the side to indicate what else we have there. There you are. So you can expose as much leg as you wish.
Or he wishes.
Or he wishes.
Right.
Or the mirror tells you to do. Kathy is in our lycra pant and blueprint top. The combination, again, is one that you can always wear that bottom with other tops. You can wear the top with other bottoms. You can wear it with skirts.
Again, I'm impressed with your use of color. It's not all black and white. You do the unexpected with that shock of blue.
The reason for it is that a woman wants to be noticed. Otherwise, she wouldn't put on mascara and all the rest of the, shall we say, all the rest of the cosmetics that she uses.
Well, look
And
at
what
the
we're doing is
sleeve
these are
interest.
really cosmetics of the body. We decorate the body and take care of it that way.
The sleeve opens up from the shoulder
course.
to the wrist,
Yes, just do
exposing
that.
the arm. How
We
beautiful.
call that a butterfly sleeve. Fashion repeats itself, and we can anticipate what's going to happen next because of that library.
I see.
Let me see.
That is a beautiful, beautiful
well.
suit of underpinnings.
Well, of course, Shannon
lingerie.
complements everything. Those are underwired cuffs, by the way, and again, it's a beige lace that glorifies it as well.
I like the high cut on the bikini. It's much more flattering, I think, than the lower.
Well, if you go too low, what you do is you show an indentation in anything that's form-fitting.
I see.
Ours won't happen. That won't happen because she's above the bone at the hip. It's a halter dress with a pleated skirt, which is a permanent pleat, by the way. Once again, you'll see the belts are in evidence. And again, what it does is it reduces the size of the waistline and emphasizes the breast and emphasizes the rest of the
Yes,
figure.
anytime you pull this in, something's got to come out, right?
Right.
Sure.
Also, you do notice that there's enough room under the arm, so again, we do not expose anything the woman has there.
I see.
So we take it all into consideration when we design these things.
In other words, if you have kind of what they call unsightly lumps, they don't
Right,
show.
absolutely. We all have some, shall we say, some areas in which the good Lord didn't give us a good shake,
Yes.
but we try to help each one of those. Here's another swimsuit of ours that glows. It's in a very, what we call a very hot, emotion-evoking color. It is supported again by the breasts are enhanced by virtue of the shirring that we've done. There's a gathering in the center of the front. The sides, again, then begin to look narrower and better. The back gives you one, as you exit, you have a dramatic one.
And the color is magnificent.
Well, we feel that the purples, the deep blues, the very vibrant colors are what women should wear, particularly if they have the right.
Oh, yes. Well, if you'll notice,
color of
she's
the
picked
skin.
up that color with her hair clip,
Absolutely.
too.
Yes, she did.
So it does not detract from her face.
No,
Absolutely nothing could.
Could detract from her face, but that, shall we say, just helps it. Oh, yes, of course, Shannon. Shannon is in our silver lame set. Again, you have an underwire bra that's in a silvery fabric, which can be washed. The bra, as I say, is supported, but yet it covers the essential areas. The set can be bought individually. In other words, you can buy the bra, you can buy the garter belt, or you can buy the sleeves as well.
Oh.
Not the sleeves, but the long gloves.
Yes.
But it, I think, makes a very dramatic appearance that way. As you notice, the front is covered adequately for the beach or anywhere. Okay, now this is a wrap short. That short actually has a wrap back, does it not?
Yes.
Has to be, you might indicate where that is. Show them, please. No, just put your hand under it if you like. That's it. That's it, like that. In other words, that's actually a wrap type of a short, which is, again, comfortable to get on and off. The color is good for her, and the occasional color in the print itself, I think, helps. And there, if you notice also, it does pick up the top.
I was going to say, it complements the top of it. Sure, it's
should.
coordinated, as is she.
Okay, Lori. All right, come on, please. Another swimsuit of ours, a bikini. This one does not have an underwired cup. This is unconstructed, but with a body like hers, I don't think you need construction.
It's done already.
Yes, ma'am. And the good Lord did that. And again, you do see flesh coming out in the area that is comes in diagonally from the front, but it is, again, you're thoroughly covered and very decent.
Now, I've noticed when you show a minimal amount of material, it is usually in a bright color for emphasis. And I like that. In other words, she's not going to get lost on the beach in that.
I think that none of these suits really would get lost on the beach, and I think that they would look sensational on. The only problem is the wives might get jealous, or the guy starts slipping. This is another underwire bra. It is in again a very interesting Swiss lace. It is simple. It is in white, but yet, if you notice, the areas that you want covered and to be opaque are opaque.
And if that's a showstopper, it's also a show closer.
Thank you. You sure you've seen enough?
I've never seen enough,
Okay,
Mr.
fine.
Fredericks, and
Thank
I'm
you.
sure our viewers haven't either.
Thank you. Well, we have many, many hundreds of other items.